welcome back to another one of our videos. So today we're going to give you a little video explaining something about a Chinese transit visa and how you can use it to visit certain parts of China without having a full tourist visa, which can help save quite a lot of money when trying to visit China. Okay, so step one in making yourself eligible for a transit without visa is how you enter and exit China. So let me explain this. Let's say that you start in country A and you're going to take a flight from here over to country B. B is going to be somewhere in China where you can do a transit without visa. And then after you've visited this place, you're going to take another flight to country C. So what's important is country A and country C cannot be the same country. So let's take a look at the itinerary me and Jordan did. Now for this itinerary, you have to understand that Hong Kong, Taiwan and Macau do count as different countries even though they are technically part of China. So we flew Kuala Lumpur to Shanghai and then on to Hong Kong. So we have A and C as different countries, and therefore we're in transit through China and are eligible for the transit without visa. So this itinerary here I've given you, UK, Shanghai, UK, this is not an eligible itinerary for transit without visa because your A and C is the same country, so you're not in transit, you're just flying a return flight. And this is the most important thing to understand, you have to have A and C as different countries to be eligible.
Step 2. Confirming where you're staying. Whether it be a hotel or with a friend, the local authorities will need to know that you're on transit without visa. If you're staying in a hotel, they will tell the authorities for you so that you haven't got to worry about it. If you're staying with a friend, you will have to do it on your own by visiting the local authorities.
Step 3 is all about telling your airline. Strongly advise that you arrive to check in for your flight a little bit earlier because your airline is going to ask you for your visa to check that you're eligible to travel to China. And when you tell them you're going to do a transit without visa, they will probably go onto their computer system and be entering all your details, so they'll want to know which your flight you're taking there and which flight you're taking from China, so that their system can calculate that you are eligible, because the airline doesn't want to be responsible for flying you there if you're not eligible. So arrive a little bit early, be patient, have all your confirmations ready to go because that will speed up the process, and just allow that extra time for your airline to check that you are eligible.
Step 4. The landing card that they'll hand you on the plane. It will be yellow, but it won't be relevant for you to fill in. When you get into the airport, you need to fill in the blue transit card. This is dedicated for the transit without visa.
One final point to understand is the limitation of this type of transit visa. You cannot leave the port where you enter. So for example, you can't enter Shanghai, stay there a few days and then fly to Beijing and stay there a few days. If you enter in Shanghai, you must leave from Shanghai and you can't travel around China internally. So hopefully now you understand a little bit about the transit without visa and how you could possibly utilise it to travel China without paying for a full visa. So just a few more tips. Hong Kong, Macau and Taiwan do count as third countries for the purpose of transit without visa. And second of all, strongly advise that you do not overstay the visa and perhaps even leave the day before. For example, if you take 144 hours, make sure you're probably leaving after 120 hours or so. Don't push it so close to the limit, because if you do go over any of these sort of boundaries they're giving you, you will probably have great difficulty in entering China again. And there's a lot to see in China and you'll probably want to go back. Just a few more things to note. The transit without visa is free. You can't be pre-approved, so you take the risk of approval on arrival. You can book your inbound and outbound tickets with separate airlines on different reservations. It's not a problem. Just make sure you print everything out before you arrive at the immigration desk because if it's on Gmail you won't be able to access it. And do not try to buy like a cheap ticket to a third country which you plan to throw away and just take a return back to the original, because if you get caught you will get into a lot of trouble. And also just remember that everything mentioned here is true if you hold a British passport. If you hold them from another country, you should check the official websites to check if your country is eligible.
Make sure you check the official website so that you have the most up-to-date information before you travel, and if you have any questions we'll be happy to answer them based on our experience. If you'd like to subscribe and see our videos, check us out. Thanks for watching.